It's finally here, it's finally here, it's finally here! Yeah! So around the time when I was in high school, there was this animated series I was a big fan of called Final Space. It was this amazing grand space opera story that had this awesome comedy, story, animation, drama, and it was one of my favorite shows around the time when I was in high school. Though during its third season and the great Warner Brothers tax write-off, the show was unfortunately canceled and most of the series was deleted from most sites, including Netflix, Hulu, and all sorts of other streaming networks. Heck, even if you go on to try to purchase an episode on YouTube, you can only find like a handful of episodes. It is that bad. I was so disappointed by this news because not only was this terrible for the creator of the series, Olin Rogers, but they also left the show on one of its biggest cliffhangers ever, and I have always wanted to see where these characters were gonna go next after that ending. But despite all this terrible news, Olin Rogers managed to pull something off nobody expected of what he could do. He managed to work a deal out with Warner Brothers where not only could he get the rights back to Final Space, but he could also tell the conclusion of what Final Space's story would be like. The only condition was that he had to tell it in the form of a graphic novel. That was announced all the way back in 2023, and after all these years of waiting, I finally got my copies of Final Space: The Final Chapter. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got this. I've been a day one supporter of this project ever since it was first announced, and when it was announced, I got myself not just one book, but two, and I actually did also manage to get the other copy to this book the other day too. So I'm gonna open the first package that I got because, well, it's the first one that I got, so of course I'm gonna open this one first, but then I'll open the second one that I got to show you which edition I got in there. Final Space: The Final Chapter came out in two different versions, a full color one and a black and white version of the book. So I, of course, had to get two different versions of them so I can kind of compare the two and see how they are visually. But I also really wanted to support the project too because of how much I love Final Space. Wow, this is really stuck on there. Really gotta tear this open. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I got it, guys. Yep, it's the version I'm thinking of. Yes. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh, that is great. And I think I am holding this upside down. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Yes. This is the color edition, which I knew I was gonna get first because that was the first one I purchased first. And oh my gosh, the colors on the cover here, they're so vibrant. They look just like the colors from the original show, and it just looks great. Oh my gosh, when I see the words "The Final Chapter," it really makes me realize that this truly is the end to one of my favorite series. It may not be the animated show that I love to watch during high school after finishing school, but it's still a conclusion and I cannot wait to read this. But the number one thing I love about getting this copy of Final Space: The Final Chapter is that if you turn to the very end of the book, there is a signed signature of the creator of the series, Olin Rogers. Oh my gosh, this book has just become one of my most prized possessions ever. But as for the second box and the one that I got today here, you can tell by the black and white taping on here that this most likely houses the black and white copy of the book, also known as the Midnight Edition. I really love the added detail of the tape of Bolo. I really wish they could sell this tape here because I would love to have Final Space tape that just has Bolo on it. He's one of my favorite characters from the series. But now that we got that first package opened up, let's open this one up and see what it's like. Gotta be really careful on getting this open. I really do like the design of this tape. Okay, that hurts. Oh, that hurt. Oof, I just realized I could have made this a ton more easier if I just used my box cutter to begin with. Man, I feel like an idiot. Okay, I finally got the box open after a good, 20 minutes or so. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, this one comes a lot more sealed compared to the color edition. So yeah, that shows how important the Midnight Edition is. Luckily though, this should be a lot easier to actually open up compared to those boxes there. So let me just get this open here and undo the sticky stuff. And yep, here it is. The Midnight Edition to Final Space, the final chapter. Yes, I got them. Much like with the color edition, it looks like it came with a signed autograph to Olin Rogers and that cute little picture of Mooncake. Oh my gosh. I love the vibrant colors on the color edition and the main cover that we see for this book, but there is something so dark and edgy about this cover here. This really does scream graphic novel to me. This book is really well textured. It has some nice weight to it. Like, it's a pretty thick book, so I know it's gonna be a bit of a time consuming when it comes to reading this whole thing, but I think I'll commit a whole day to reading this because I have waited so long to actually find out the ending to Final Space. Of these two editions I think I'll read the color edition first and then I'll read the Midnight Edition right afterwards to kind of compare the two in their coloring and shading. I don't really review a lot of comics, but you can definitely expect me to review this comic because this is the conclusion to a show I've been wanting to see the conclusion to for years now. Thank you so much to Olin Rogers and his amazing team for not giving up when it comes to the production of this project and finally giving us the end to Final Space. Godspeed to everyone, and especially a big thank you to you, Mr. Olin Rogers, for giving us the amazing story that is Final Space.